Welcome back to the news at 10. As some companies' stories, Dangote Cement PLC is giving out various gifts on offer to its teeming customers in the ongoing Dangote Bag of Goodies promo, in line with the company's core values of delivering excellent consumer services. The Group Executive Director, Dangote Industries Limited, Halima Dangote, explains that lucky consumers stand a chance of winning prizes such as cars, tricycles, refrigerators, among others, if they patronize the brand throughout the promo.
Dangote team and their customers from different sectors of trade arrived for the official handover of prizes to deserving consumers.
Who are we? We are
Dangote. Everyone is waiting in bated breath as this star prize and other Dangote goodie bags are up for grabs.
Today we're going to celebrate people who have won. The good thing about the promotion, this promotion is just a gift from God through Dangote Cement. There are more cars. We have so many other gifts. We have tricycles, we have TV, we have fridge, we have celebration packs that has most of our food products.
That's our winner.
With the purchase of just 10 bags of cement, Mujahid Shuaibu wins a car.
Please put hands together for him. Please clap for him. Please clap for him.
I don't expect this thing for my life, and Dangote have done it to me. I thank Dangote. I thank God for blessing.
With manufacturing plants in 10 African nations, including Nigeria, Dangote Cement is expanding its capacity in high-quality cement production.
The sole aim of Dangote Bag of Goodies promo is to touch lives. It's to say thank you to our consumers, numerous consumers. Thank you to our customers. And thank you for being with us. Thank you for making us big. Dangote is the biggest in the industry. We're actually the leader. We are calling the shots. And these are the people that are making us really thick. And we are getting thicker by day. So this is our own way of saying thank you. Well done. Keep buying Dangote Cement.
While the Dangote Cement promo lasts till September, the company hopes to remain the first choice for builders.
Time now for more business news. Here's Anne Mawudo.
You first. First Bank.
Thank you, Amarachi. Welcome to Business News. Tonight we begin with the federal government saying that it has set up a task force to recover the 5 trillion naira debt owed to the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria. The agency is mandated to go after the debtors, including the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, the Independent Corrupt Practices Commission, and the permanent secretaries of the Justice and Transport Ministries. According to a statement from the spokesman to the Vice President, Mr. Laolu Akonde, at a meeting in the nation's capital, the agencies are directed to re-strategize on steps to achieve the desired results. In the meantime, AMCON's chairman, Mr. Muiz Banire, says that about 67% of the 5 trillion naira debt is owed by the top 20 debtors. The president of the Commercial Dairy Ranchers Association, Muhammadu Abubakar, says that there is a commercial solution to the pastoralist crisis in Nigeria. He was responding to the Central Bank of Nigeria's proposed foreign exchange restriction for milk. He says that policies will push major players in the industry to backward integration.
We have brought some of this pastoralists into cooperatives and we evacuate milk, but there's a limit to which we can evacuate the milk because the market can absorb only for our premium products. But if we can access the mass market, for instance, we can now aggregate, and then when we aggregate, we can take it to multinationals. They produce liters in millions. Mind you, the argument sometimes is, do we have the numbers? Yes, we do. We have about, as at 99 census, 20 million cattle head in Nigeria. So if you look at quarter of that, which is 5 million, and you assume going by the average milk yield per station in Nigeria, you say, okay, 2-3 liters per head of an animal. then you're talking about 5 million times 3. You're talking about 10 to 15 million liters a day.
Owando PLC's half-year earnings have shown that the company's crude oil production have increased by 15% to 16,876 barrels per day, while its natural gas production has increased by 8% to 128.53 million cubic feet. In the meantime, the group's profit after tax declined by 16% to 7.2 billion naira from 8.5 billion naira, while the capital expenditure of 22.5 billion naira was incurred in the period under review compared to 8.9 billion in the same period back in 2018. Overall, the group borrowings for the period decreased by 5% to 200.7 billion naira from 210.9 billion, which was recorded in 2018. For the upstream borrowings, it reduced by 13% to $221.3 million. Market now, the negative territory at the close of today's trading has continued, clawing back the entire 15 billion naira. That's about 0.11% gain earlier recorded in yesterday's session. Layo Adekoke has the details for us.
Thank you for joining us on the Stock Market Report. Bearish sentiments returned to the domestic stock market barely a day after its moderate positive performance as the month of July slowly winds down amidst a flurry of earnings. Renewed round of profit-taking on some key consumer goods and banking and oil and gas sector components led to a 0.46% drop in the all-share index. Our total value of listed equities dipped 63 billion naira in response to the sell pressure. The price chart also saw a reversal of fortune as 20 equities dropped in value, led by an 8.70% loss in the shares of Japol, while Mutual Benefit is number 1 on a list of 11 gainers, up by 10%. The trio of Tier 1 lenders, GT Bank, UBA, Zenith Bank, are the major contributors to a total of 155.21 million units of shares traded in over 3,100 transactions. Well, that's it on the Stock Market Report. I'm Layo Adegoke.
Thank you, Layo. Well, uncertainty over new U.S.-China trade talks and weak earnings took a heavy toll on stock markets around the world today, and the United States and Europe included at the close of trading. But let's find out how other major markets fared at the close of trade. That's Business News Tonight. Thank you for watching. The rest of the news at 10 continues now with Amarachi. I'm Anne Umawadu.
You first. First Bank.
Thanks, Anne. Police in Hong Kong have fired pepper spray on protesters outside of a police station surrounded by hundreds of people after 44 activists were charged with rioting during protests over the weekend. It's the first time the rioting charge has been used during protests which erupted over an extradition bill that would have allowed people in Hong Kong to be sent to mainland China for trial. Here's Simon Pusey now with more international news in Around the World in 5.
Good evening from the Channel's newsroom here in London. Conditions at a prison in Brazil where 57 inmates were killed in fighting have been described as terrible in an official report. The National Justice Council said that Altamira jail in northeastern Para state contained more than double the number of inmates it was built for, and there were not enough guards to guarantee safety. Video taken from outside the prison showed smoke billowing from the building and inmates walking around on the rooftops. The violence broke out at 7 a.m. local time when members of a criminal gang housed in Block A of the jail invaded an annex where members of a rival gang were locked up. 16 inmates were decapitated in the fight which followed. Many more died from smoke asphyxiation after the fighting prisoners set a cell on fire.
What we can verify is that the scene is basically macabre. There were decapitations, there were people who were asphyxiated by the smoke, but now it's calm. It's calmer. The prisoners were separated and will now await the official list of those that were victims and those that also survived this rebellion.
At least 18 people were killed and several injured when a small military plane crashed into a residential area near the Pakistani city of Rawalpindi. 5 crew members and 13 civilians were among the dead. The aircraft was on a training flight when it crashed and set off a fire across several homes. One witness said the plane was ablaze before the crash. The King Air 350 turboprop reportedly took a steep turn near its destination airport before coming down. Pro-government forces, including NATO allies, killed more civilians in Afghanistan in the first half of 2019 than insurgents. That's according to UN figures. It is the first time in the 18-year conflict that this has occurred and comes amid a ferocious US air campaign against the Taliban. Some 717 civilians were killed by Afghan and NATO-led forces, compared to 531 by militants. The data comes as Washington continues to seek a swift end to the war. Airstrikes, mostly carried out by American warplanes, killed 363 people, including 89 children in the first 6 months of the year. Sudan's ruling Transitional Military Council has condemned the killing of 5 school children as thousands of students took to the streets to denounce the latest bout of violence. A warning: you may find some of these pictures distressing. 5 school children and 1 adult were shot dead on Monday when security forces broke up a rally against fuel and bread shortages in the capital of North Kordofan state. Many more were injured. Thousands of students took to the streets on Tuesday to protest against the killings. Military rulers said the violence was unacceptable and demanded immediate accountability. A US delegation has arrived in Shanghai for the 12th round of China-US high-level economic and trade consultations, which is the first trade talk since May. The 2-day meeting is aimed at implementing the consensus reached between Chinese President Xi Jinping and US President Donald Trump on the sidelines of the G20 summit held in Japan last month. This is the first face-to-face meetings between the trade representatives of the 2 countries since the last round of trade talks ended in May. Hundreds of protesters in Hong Kong blocked access to commuter trains on Tuesday, causing widespread disruption during the morning rush hour. Activists prevented trains from leaving across the city. Some blocked doors while others sounded emergency alarms. Crowds of passengers were left stuck on subway platforms and services were badly delayed for much of the morning. Anti-government protests have rocked the city in recent weeks and are causing ongoing disruption.
I have a meeting at 10 and it's 8 a.m. now. I think my work and meeting could wait, but our freedom, safety and human rights are taken away and that can't wait. So I'm okay with it.
And finally, paleontologists from China and the United States have found a Tyrannosaurus, a giant dinosaur footprint fossil in eastern China. The fossil was unveiled on Monday to the public at the Yingliang Stone Nature History Museum, located in the coastal city of Nan'an. Tyrannosaurus is a term coined to describe fossilized footprints that may have been left by Tyrannosaurid. The track found during road construction was identified by scholars. It is the first discovery of a Tyrannosaurus in China. And that's your international news around the world in 5.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Casa Semeyes hopes to defending her 800 meters title at the IAAF World Athletics Championships are over after a Swiss judge reversed a ruling to temporarily suspend her ban. We'll have more in sports news. Please join us again.